Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Live on a holiday Monday. I appreciate all of you tuning in while I'm here. Sorry, I thought I heard my own voice. Scary. I muted everything, I swear. So, how's everybody doing? Are we having a great long weekend if you're having one where you are? I had a super long weekend and was very productive. I didn't complete everything I wanted to complete, but I'm well on my way, so I feel really good and feel like I can sleep at night. Yay! I spent the weekend doing a lot of market prep for the holidays, both Halloween and Christmas. I also spent a lot of time working on, I have a couple commissions that I have on the go, so I worked on those and other kind of markety prep things, but also took some time to myself. I just finished a good book, and I've been watching Wolverine movies because I saw Wolverine Deadpool not long ago, and now I'm obsessed again. So I just hung out and watched some of those with Mojo, and been enjoying the kind of, it went from like 40 degrees to 20 degrees, so that range has been kind of fun. It's actually really nice out, so we've been going on nice walks. So it's been a good time to take kind of a time out away from work and like adulting busyness and stuff. So I did a little bit of like cleaning and tidying and stuff around here, but just kind of, made sure to take some time for myself, which was really good too. So me and Mojo are just chilling, which is great. So I felt with all the hard work that I've put in here, I've earned some tarot minutes. I've been itching to get to these guys, but they're kind of like, working on these is kind of like my reward for getting the other stuff done. Not that I don't enjoy the other markety stuff, it's just, these are kind of taking over a little bit. So before we get to that, I'm actually going to switch over. I'm going to show you guys where things ended up last week. So those of you who tuned in last week, we were working on the Justice card, and we had been working on her for about 3 weeks or so. And let me, before I switch over, I don't want spoilers. So we switched over, so we finished that piece, and we had a lot of fun with it. So let me just switch over to this one. There she is. Okay, so we finished her off, and I am thrilled with this. There was a time where I wasn't really sure how this was going to come together. The hand in the bottom corner was kind of causing a mess, and past me made some very weird layering choices that made this actually extremely difficult. Well, not difficult, just challenging. But I really like what we came up with for because it's supposed to be, water and fire. Just want to make sure you can still see me there. So we had the fire, but we came up with the rain kind of effect over her face. And we were trying a few things out, and this is very different from what I was picturing in my head, but comes out way better because what I was picturing was going to kind of cover up her hair, and I really didn't want to do that too much because it came out so nicely. So we came up with this really cool like splatter and smudge effect kind of as a team last week. We kind of worked through some brushes and stuff that we liked. So thank you to everybody who contributed to that. That was great. So we came up to a really nice kind of final result. And then I showed you a little bit of my process about how I've been putting them together into the borders, and then kind of mocking them up at the end to show how they come together, and kind of I can kind of finalize them off, make them look like a real card. And this is my favorite part because like I just kind of like look at them and I'm like, ooh, so excited. So it really pulls them together. So I'm going to show you that. We did that a little bit last week, but I'm going to show you the final card there. So there she is as our Justice card, number 7, all put together. Like I mentioned last week, I'm kind of hoping to add some animation and stuff to these, have kind of like the flames like flicker a little bit if I can. I have to finish market stuff before I teach myself a new tool, but I'm confident that I can do that in time for these to be posted. Now these are going to start posting, I'm kicking this project off officially online mid-October. there's reasons for this and it's coming. But mid-October is when I'm kicking this off. So that's why I'm getting these kind of done as we go, because then they're ready and posting them won't feel as intimidating. And then some of you saw last week the Behance projects I've been building. So kind of as I get to a kind of stage in a process of each card, mostly after each live, I kind of capture what we did so far, do a screenshot of what the card looks like, and throw it all into that project. So at least everything's in there, and then I can start organizing and arranging them into kind of a more of a coherent story, but it's all in one place, so I don't have to go find it later or recreate it like with Fresco, turning the layers off and on. I can just go in and kind of layer them out, which I did work on a little bit this weekend. But yeah, this is kind of where she's at, and I'm thrilled with this one. Oh, so exciting. Okay. Okay, so that's where that's at. So I'm going to get back to what we were doing here. And I'm going to move this so I can see any comments that are coming in. All right. Hi, guys. All right. So that means now we're on a new card. So we are working on our first magic card or sword card in the tarot deck. This one's going to be the number 7. I think I'm like doing all the 7s. Let me see. That was the Justice was 7. Sorry, I'm looking at my tracking sheet here. Oh dear, and I fibbed. Justice is not 7. She's the 8. Oh dear. Okay, we'll have to fix that. That's my bad. Now I'm doing all the 8s. Okay, I'm glad I checked that. Because she's not the 7. Okay, cool. Good to know. Anyway, today we're working on the 7 of Swords, or our magic suit, which we haven't worked on yet. I don't have a card ready for that yet, so I am ready to kind of get going on that. And it's another color card, just like the girl sitting in the chair. I don't think I did that one on a live very much, but it's another color card, and a lot of them have been black and white so far, so I really want to get to another color one just to make sure I'm on the right track. Oh, we have Robinson Crusoe on Behance. Amazing stuff. Thank you so much. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so this is, like I said, I'm just going to pull up this card. This is the 7 of Swords, and to give you a background on that card, it generally means when you pull it, you've got like betrayal, deception, getting away with something, or acting strategically. Or if it's reversed or upside down, you kind of get an imposter syndrome, self-deceit, and keeping of secrets. There's kind of a stealth element to this card, meaning there's some dishonesty or an escape, or taking kind of a lone wolf approach. So the art on this won't make a lot of sense just kind of on its own idle, but inspired by Night Circus storyline. This represents, because this is the magic suit, this represents kind of a spell that our fortune teller actually placed around the circus at some point in the story. And no one knows that she's done it, and it actually has kind of a very large impact to the story. Not necessarily deceit, but she kind of lone wolfed this one on her own and kind of went out and decided to do this spell. So I have taken hints from that and kind of altered it a little bit to kind of hint at that spell, but then also kind of, because this is Night Circus inspired, I kind of am taking some of my own liberties with it, and kind of having kind of like a mysterious element here. So we have the hand here that's going to be kind of casting a spell, kind of a la an Emperor card in the end, but then we have some tarot cards, we have some ribbons tying the magic together, and it's in kind of like a velvety box. It's actually like a black and white box, which is going to be hard for color, but I have lots of different tricks up my sleeve that we're going to try for that. We are far from pattern. We have to get some line art in here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get started with some line art. Now, I was going to just group all those pencils together, but I'm not confident that we're right where we want to be with our layout yet. Sorry, I got to get my cheat sheet for my brushes here. So I'm going to have everything separate and be a little more careful this time. Like I said, last time I made some very weird line choices, making the kind of finalization very difficult. So I'm going to try not to do that this time. We're going to use some more layers here. So in Adobe Fresco, working on this, we're using the vector brushes, and I'm actually going to start drawing now for all of us patiently waiting. Okay, so I'm going to be a little more careful. Like I said, with my layers, we weren't as careful in the last one, and it caused a couple of kerfuffles. So we're going to try and avoid that this time. These lines feel so fine. I've been working in some very heavy lines this weekend, so these ones don't feel as heavy. Actually, let me take a quick peek. Yeah, that's probably right. I've been working smaller this weekend, so the lines just don't seem heavy enough, but for this it's just what we need, which is great. So I see a few people coming in and out. Thank you so much for hanging out on your long weekends. Depending on where you are, you may or may not have a long weekend. We have our back to school happening in my area soon. I thought it was tomorrow, but they start the year with a PD day, which is super great. I don't think my school year started that way. We have Zig says, great work. Thank you so much. Welcome to the stream. Oops. It's a little weird that all the kids are like back to school already. Like I feel like they just stopped going to school. Seems a little bit nuts. But I hope they had fun. And I hope they have fun going back to school. Something to keep in mind for the drive-in tomorrow, I guess. Get used to there being no students around. And then the chaos ensues for the drive-in. Okay. So hands aren't really my strong point. I used a few references for this. But I think also I'm not going to get too worried about it because I feel like I'm going to cover a lot of it up with magic. Both artistic and stylistic. So I'm not going to get too fussed about that right now. Oh, good Lord. Broken fingers. Best part about a long weekend, you have that extra day in there, in my case 2 days, after all the adulting and things that you usually do on a weekend. You have some extra time to kind of just chill out. And we've been drawing all day long. Mojo's thrilled about it. But I've been drawing all day, which feels really awesome. Ooh, that makes that finger look broken. Okay, let's try. Oops, let's try again. I think after drawing all day, I'd be a little more warmed up than this. Chaos. No, let's try again. Yes, we moved this. So we want to move this. Ugh, yuck. Let's try again. Oh dear Lord. One more time. I shifted this finger in this from the sketch so that what I initially drew didn't work. Alright, there we go. right, new layer. Like I said, we're gonna get a little bit insane about the number of layers that are here because I don't want to make a mess. All right. The idea here, it's all tied up in ribbons and things, but it's also kind of been hidden away. So like in a closet, or I don't remember where she hides it, like kind of under her bed. So that's why the ribbons are a little less perfect. I want them to kind of have like a rumpled look. So that's now I'm just thinking I was going to put an edge on those ribbons, but I think once we get into the paper patterns, that might be a lot to ask visually. So maybe I won't do that. Put like an edging on there, but I think we can do that with some artistic license instead. Yeah, so that's why I went kind of with a more rumply ribbon, because the idea is that it was created and then kind of hidden away. It is a secret. We have Solera saying doing great. Thank you so much. We have Irma saying good job. Thanks everybody. Welcome to the stream. So glad you're all able to join. I was working on some market things earlier today and got to like this finalized line art part, and get a lot of satisfaction out of having a really nice clean line art at the end. Like, I feel like, I think I said it before, like that's kind of the meat and potatoes, like this, the most important part to me is having that kind of line art be as clean as possible, because that doesn't make sense, because without it, filling in the colors and everything afterwards can be a little bit more challenging. It's fun to see where it goes if you're not really sure. I just need to add another loop in here. I think I missed that in my sketch. But having that big solid line art to get started with takes some of the pressure off of the coloring afterwards, especially with something like this when we have kind of a style or kind of semi-formula to work with. It's nice to have it, it's easier to work with when you have those solid lines up front. So this part takes a long time, but it also allows the rest of it to kind of just flow through. Like, I worked this morning a couple hours on some solid line art for one of my holiday illustrations, but then the color just kind of like flew together almost. Like, it's almost done because the line art was so solid. And that's the part where I kind of think through the process too, which is great. So yeah, it's a cool thing at the end, just to have that nice fancy line art, which is really cool. And I was saying that there's like a formula to these cards, which there kind of is, but I have been really interested in seeing how each one kind of takes on its own either style point or just kind of uniqueness. So like the Emperor card has the different transparencies. but then we had that kind of rain effect on the last one for the Justice card. So they have the same formula, the kind of bare bones of like stained glass with non-stained glass and the paper pattern like layout look, but then we'll have a kind of its own style element that will, kind of make it stand out on its own, which is super fun too. I think that'll help these from getting too repetitive or kind of stale. I don't think they're going to get stale. I think they're pretty exciting, but you know what I mean, like seeing the same thing over and over and over again. Whoops, that's definitely the eraser. That's not helpful at all. Here we go. So the idea behind this spell is kind of like, there's this kind of element of like knots that comes up with some of these characters sometimes, and there being magic in it, so like tying things together will kind of like fuse the spell. So this box is tied up with all different kinds of black and white ribbon, and then all these different elements that mean things to the different characters are also inside of the box. So that's where I took some of my own liberties to be what was inside the box. Like there's tarot cards and a hat and a few other things that are in here that are in the illustration. But then a couple other style things that I just kind of either left out or kept for myself or added because I thought would be kind of cool to go with the spell. So whatever makes it interesting, really, visually. I went into Michael's this weekend. They have all their Halloween stuff out, and it's some really cool like fortune tellery, witchy things kind of in one section, and I was like, oh my goodness, these are all very perfect for the tarot. So I got lots of photos and ideas for elements to add to different cards and all that kind of fun stuff. So the inspiration's still out there for sure. Where is this going? Oops. I think we'll need some more of these ribbons around the box because there are like a lot on the top there, and I only drew I think 2 ribbons in the box, so we'll add some more there. And these are supposed to be tarot cards, but I'm not sure how I'm gonna add them in. I don't think part of me wants to just put my own tarot cards in here, but the deck that she's using is like an ancient one, so I may get some inspiration from kind of some old decks maybe. And go from there. We have Alessandra in the chat having some travel troubles. Oh dear. There's a loud baby in the bus. I saw a hilarious thing on Instagram or something earlier today. And it was like, you get on a plane, and the guy next to me says, oh man, like you hear a crying baby, and you're like, oh man, is there anything worse than a crying baby on a plane? And then me getting my kazoo out and saying, I don't know, let's see. It made me laugh like a lot and put the crying baby into perspective. I was like, oh my god, that is freaking perfection. Okay. Anyway, that's my sense of humor today. Be strong. Babies don't know what... You can't explain to babies what traveling is. It's hard. Be strong. You can do it. I'm going to turn some of this off because I think one of the fingernails looks really weird. Oh, it's the wrong one. Oh, now I got to get it together. No, this one. Oh, God. One kind of looks like the finger's broken. So let's fix it now before we get too far. And it's a challenge. I did fly when I was flying. I was in South America. I was trying to think of which flight it was, but I was in South America, and my sister and her friend and I were all split up because we were just because of the way the flights worked out and our tickets. And so we were all separated, and so I sat by myself. I read my book or listened to my music or whatever I did. But then, oops. No, why'd you do that? But there was a crying baby on the flight. So when we got off, I was like, okay, which one of us was right next to the crying baby? And it was our friend. He was super impressed by the whole thing. But it was luckily like a really small flight. Like we weren't on it for very long. And I think airplanes are probably really hard for a baby. You can't explain that to them. I don't know. Is that what I had before? It kind of is, eh? Okay, I'll leave it. I'll just focus on the art, Alessandra. I'm here to assist. Oh, come on, you. Do the thing. But, yeah, it happens. Oh, and we're missing a line, so let's do this. Okay, okay. Okay, I'll turn this off, and then we will put on another layer. I don't think I can turn this off because this has other things. Yes, it does. Okay. Now we'll do. What is this? Nothing. Okay, I'm going to do this. Next, do the hat. Come on, you. forgot to tell the Discord again. Hang on a second. I have to share what's happening. It's already 7:30. How'd that happen? Crazy. Okay. Issue. Sketching together. Where is it? Oh no, we've moved everything. Oh no. Oh, there it is. Phew. There we go. Oops. I'm back now. Alrighty. So I wanted to let as many people know because I know some people aren't streaming because it's holidays, but I know also some people wanted streaming for the holidays, so let as many people know. Alright, so I think my sketch for ribbons is kind of weak here, so I'm going to leave the hat separate. I'm all paranoid now because the last one was a bit of a kerfuffle. And it wasn't even that bad, but it's just like such a frustrating file to work with that I don't want to repeat it. So now I'm going to have an excess of crazy amounts of layers, but that's okay. Ooh, that's weird. Sandra's going to look forward to drawing when she gets back from vacation. Amazing. Where are we on vacation? Streaming this week for sure. And David's in the chat. Hello, David. Welcome to the stream. We're here working on a tarot card. Switching it up. I'm actually like really excited because, again, not that I don't like working on, it's just so weird. Not that I don't like working on the market stuff that I've been working on. I'm just like super excited about these. So when all the market stuff's ready and off to print, I'm going to get to work on these a lot. David says, I'm new here. Hope I'm accepted. Well, it's a very friendly place of discussion, sir. Alessandra's comment is not meant to be towards you. We've had people try that in the past. It's free open art community, sir. Welcome to the stream. Why don't I know how ribbons work? What is going on? Let's try something like this. Excellent, then you're welcome. Okay. Ugh. Really weird, but I think we can fix it with something later. Anyway, again, I'm trying to go with like the rumpled ribbon. I think it works. I think it works. All right. So what kind of artist are we, David? What kind of art do we like to do? Alessandra, what art will you be doing and streaming? I'm kind of thinking that like stained glass ribbons might be kind of a really cool effect. Don't want to get ahead of myself, but I think that might be kind of cool. Or the ribbons over stained glass. Am I drawing on the correct layer? I'm not. Of course not. Why would I be doing that? Okay. So let's do this then before we make a mess. Cut cut selection, paste selection. I'm going to move it, okay, here, and then just merge this down because I want this to be part of the lid, and I was accidentally drawing on the wrong layer. I wasn't paying attention. So if I do merge down, now that's part of, they're all on the correct layer. Phew. Hi Barbara, welcome to the stream. Alessandra's, it's too late for me, Alessandra. I mentioned them last week and I already had like 4 more zine ads. So those of you who weren't on the stream a few weeks ago, Alessandra mentioned that she was working on her zines, which are kind of like small book publications that can be anything really, any kind of context, different arts and stuff, and usually done by hand and then printed. And then like kind of photocopied and printed and all that kind of stuff. But there's lots of different ways to do them. I've never done one. I'm not super familiar with them. So I mentioned that when Alessandra said she was working on those. And here we are. The next morning I had all kinds of ads for best ways to print and copy your zine content and all that kind of stuff. And then she mentioned it last week. So now my phone is full of how to make your own zines, but I'm on a new hobby hiatus. I've started a 78 illustration project, and I can't pick up any more hobbies until I make more progress with the ones I have. So how are we doing today, Barbara? Nice to see you on this stream so late. Okay, I think that's playing the game. Do I want these? Yeah, these can be on the same layer, I think. Okay, good. I don't see a reason why they would be separated. I'm doing great, thanks, Barbara. Had a long weekend, and I'm feeling really good about what I got done and the amount of rest and chilling I got done, which was great. Heading into the fall season, which is my jam. I always feel like kind of a sense of, I don't want to jinx it, calm around this time of year. There's some potential work chaos coming my way, so I'm trying not to jinx the universe. But as far as at home and stuff, feeling really good. My favorite time of year. Cozy shoes, cozy sweaters. It's my favorite. I'm ready for the hay fever to be gone along with the hot weather. Yeah, I'm lucky to avoid the hay fever situation, but the heat is not my jam. I was mentioning at the start of the stream how it went from, it was almost like 40 degrees at the start of the weekend, but now it's down to 20. So you can see I'm in a sweater today and feeling it. I am so excited to be under blankets and all that kind of stuff because the humidity is just not my jam. It's hard to sleep and focus. I'd much rather be in sweaters and big boots. Sounds great to me. I love it. Okay, let's see where this is. That line. Okay. So we had other cards in here. Now, things like inside a box, this is going to sound super weird, but it's hard for me to draw because I get a really hard time with like perspective and things. And I've made my box round, so that makes it harder for me to perspective. Like this, the line I have in the background for the table, I drew it like 50 times. Contents of a box are not really something that I come by easily, but I may use my artistic license and just make it really dark inside this box, so it won't matter. I'm just gonna make it look like there's stuff in there, and fill it with paper patterns and stuff, and no one will know the difference. That's what happens when you earn your license. Okie dokie. Now one more layer here. We'll get these candles in. We may get some kind of like hierarchy lines, and I might have to go. Although we made wicked progress today, which is great. Oops, there we go. All right. This. Okay, and then we'll get this going. So we're not going to get to any paper patterns tonight, I don't think, but we can work on that next week. But we'll get some more lines in here. I'm already pretty stoked about how this came together. I was a little worried because initially all I had in my head was like just the box and the contents, which was kind of like a very square layout, and I wasn't just very stoked about that because it's obviously a portrait style card. But I think it's coming together nicely because I was worried about layering too. So it was just very square, but then I was also worried that it was going to not have the layers that I need to kind of create that paper layering. But I think like our box itself will be a good one. The hand's going to give another element, and then we'll have that kind of the candles and stuff in the background, which are going to be really great. Okay, so I'm going to bundle all of our pencils together to save me some frustration. And then, yeah, multiple layers here. So, okay, let's just ponder this one first. So this is the back one, so let's put it in the back. This is in the front. Is that how that worked? Yeah, okay. And then these all go together. Maybe not that. Okay. Alright, let's get to outlining this guy now. Actually, let's clean this up. It's kind of messy. No, thank you. Alright. And just like with past cards, I'm not getting too worried about like how things touch the edges, because like we saw earlier, we have a border that we're putting into place. So I'm not too worked up about the edges because the border, with any luck, will cover up any messes. What do you do? We have Odie in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Just kind of wrapping up, but hopefully we can get these hierarchy lines in here and then we can be ready to go next week. And this is also the first card that I'm doing that doesn't have a person in it, so I'm very interested to see if that kind of changes the element. Well, there's the hand, I guess, kind of faking it, but no like added features or anything like poses to add emotion to the cards. So it'll be interesting to see if that plays out any differently from the other cards. But there's going to be a few more that need that, so now's the time to learn. Oops. Do the thing. Oops. Oh dear. A book? How come? Hi, buddy. Oops. No, don't worry about them, buddy. You're okay. Good job. He's a good boy. Come here, bud. Hello. Come here. We're going to be chill because we're almost done. Okay, bud? Settle. Yes, good boy. Oh my goodness. Oh dear, that wasn't even a good try. Okay. Oh dear. All right, we're just gonna save. And then we're gonna add a layer here. All right, so we'll do this outline. Alessandra is safely in Boston. Thank goodness. Oops. Traveling, what an adventure. Hey Jose, welcome to the stream. And thank you, Alessandra, for translating for me. I appreciate that. This is very good and he likes it. Thank you so much, Jose. I really appreciate that. I got the basic gist there, but it's not a language I speak, unfortunately, Spanish. I can get a little bit from the French I know, but not all of it, unfortunately. So thank you, Alessandra, for helping me out there. So we'll finish this outline and I'll let you get back to your holiday. So we do have lots of decisions to make still, kind of, because this is a color card. I can't have it be too black and white, but then also it's kind of like needs to be black and white, but we'll do it in a color way, if that makes sense. I have a picture in my head. We'll see how it comes out. But yeah, I'm excited to kind of play with this one. Letting kind of a still life convey some of the mood and the emotion rather than kind of the pose of a human type character. Always fun to see how it comes together. So we're getting there. And also, as I was mentioning, the crisp liner earlier gives the opportunity, if you have that crisp liner layer or layers, you can make it a coloring book after. Versatile art. Woohoo! If you're doing a 78 illustration project, you're going to have to make it cover a lot of ground, that's for sure. I had some more coloring bookmarks be sent my way to show me how people are using them and coloring them. So fun. I love to see how everybody interprets the arts and puts their colors on them. So fun. So I think like a tarot coloring book would be actually a lot of fun because I'd like to see how people interpret the cards. Probably a less moody way than I'm interpreting here. Oh, we're missing a line, so we're going to put it in here. Magic. But yeah, seeing people color the art is so fun to see how they interpret it. So cool. So I got a few more sent my way, which is great. I got a few more bookmarks that went out into the world this week as well. So I'm very eager to see how they come together. Whoops. Sorry, I'm trying not to spin too much here, guys. I know it's challenging to watch sometimes. We have my coworkers, when we're on like a FaceTime. What is this? The tarot deck. If we're on like a Skype call or something at work, and we're like he's sharing his screen, it'll be like it's like a nervous twitch or something. I'll just kind of click all the windows and click while we're talking. I'm like, I can't even look at that. Tell me when you're showing a thing, because I'm gonna throw up. It's a lot of motion because it's not purposeful. It's like a twitch, like a click and move of things, and it's kind of like bleh. If I'm not the one clicking, I have a very hard time with it. So I'm going to try and keep these Zooms to a minimum because I don't want to make anybody sick. I want people to enjoy this experience. It's just hard when it's a round surface too. We have Isaac in the chat, says beautiful, thank you so much. This is going to come together really nicely, I think. I'm very excited. Just erase that line there. Almost done. Oh, one more. Killing it. Right at 7:59. Look at this go. All right. Okay, we got a couple minutes. Let's finish the hierarchy lines and then we can get on with the day. I think I want a hierarchy line here. I don't know if these will be a separate sticker or not. I mean, I say sticker because it's kind of like the sticker outlines, but I made them the way they are so that they didn't look like a sticker, so I don't know why I call it that. But I don't know if these will be a separate layer or if they're just going to sit on the table or not, but we'll give them a hierarchy line because I think they look kind of empty without it for now. And we're going to have to get some content for those cards. They can't just be plain like that. I think that's going to be an opportunity for me to find like some really cool old tarot decks. Maybe use those as like inspiration. This isn't what I wanted at all. Actually, I was on Instagram earlier. I think this is yesterday I saw this. It was like a perfect example of not comparing yourself to other people. Because there is an artist and he has his own tarot deck that he's doing. It looks like, I didn't look into his account, but it looks like he's hand drawing these tarot cards, but at like a poster size. So he's doing that thing you see on Instagram right now where everybody like flips their paper around or their canvas around to show it. And I was like, whoa, there's so much detail in those. And immediately fell into the kind of imposter syndrome kind of, well, my cards don't look like that, but mine aren't supposed to look like that. My style isn't that. What he had was beautiful. Like, it was a couple of faces. I think it was the magician card he was drawing. It had these like multiple faces, but they were all these different kinds of like designs and filigrees and stuff on the face, and like hyper detailed, very beautiful, very nice, and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh man, I don't have that much detail, but it's also not my style. So if I like stopped doing this and was trying to emulate somebody else's style, I would be so frustrated and would not enjoy them because it wouldn't look like somebody else's cards. And then I looked at mine and I'm like, no, these are exactly what they're supposed to be. Don't worry about it. So don't compare yourself to other people. Look at their art and appreciate it and share your support, obviously. But don't be stressy that your art doesn't look like other art. It's not supposed to. It's not supposed to. But yeah, that imposter syndrome, I tell you, deadly. That'll kill motivation like nothing else. And that's why I keep pushing in these, so there's something to look at when I get frustrated like that. And luckily it was fleeting this time, because I'm very excited about my cards and how I'm drawing them and how they're coming together. Hello, welcome to the Behance chat. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry I cannot read your name, but you said cool, so thank you for the chat. We're almost done. You came in just at the end. And then one more line. There it is. So that layer is going to be really simple, but it's just going to be kind of that barrier between the box. Like that layer, sorry, is the like the table, so where the candles are, and the table. Really simple layer, but it's going to be the boundary between the box and the background. So just kind of giving us that further depth if things come together the way I'm thinking that they will. All right, 8:03. Okay, so we've made a lot of progress. I should be drawing all day more often and get me all warmed up. It's perfect. Okay, so we're in great shape. So the next steps that I'm going to have to follow, I may try putting in our sticker lines first, or I may save them to the end. I'm not sure. I was thinking about the last card that I might switch the order of how I do things. The next thing I do have to decide on is what's stained glass and what is not. What's color and what isn't. All that kind of fun madness. Where the red goes. All that kind of fun stuff. So lots of decisions to be made. So I'm hoping between now and next week I can kind of get the lines finalized, have like the stained glass put in and ready to go, and then we can start adding color next week if I haven't already. I'll try and save that for next week. So yeah, I think that leaves us at the end of the stream for today. Thank you so much to everybody who joined in. We have Alessandra, we have Isaac, Jose, Barbara, thank you so much. David was here. Everybody at the start, thank you so much. You guys are so awesome. Thanks for spending some time with me on your holiday long weekend, if that's what you're doing. And come join me next week. I will be on live at 7 p.m. on all the channels. So enjoy the rest of your week, everybody. I hope you have a great start to school, fall, whatever it is that you're doing, and I'll catch you next week. Bye, guys.